Hello, everyone. It is Monday, the 20th. Um, this is probably going to be a relatively short video today. Um, I have got some kind of a headache hit me about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I just have not been able to shake it for anything. So I do apologize. Devin is not on with me today. Obviously, as you can see, he's got a prior engagement, so he is unable to join us. But since sort of, I know I mentioned this, it seems like almost in every video that, there's always talk about, getting new customers and, things like this with the cold calling and the emailing and everything, and I've touched a little bit on LinkedIn before. But this morning, I actually brought on a new customer as a result of my LinkedIn prospecting, right? So I thought this might be a good opportune time to kind of go over that a little bit. Now, it did take me roughly about a week to finally land that customer. We've kind of had ongoing conversation and things. And so I thought, why not put together some tips for you guys out there looking to kind of expand your prospecting, right? I appreciate everybody that's on and joining with me. I outlined all of this, and I will, actually, I did not leave a link for this later on, but I'll add it to the description at the end of this video. I meant to, and I apologize. I forgot again. I'm just dealing with a really bad headache this afternoon. So soliciting prospects on LinkedIn can be a great way to connect with potential customers or clients. These are some tips on how to do it effectively. And again, if you guys have any questions about this along the way, by all means, the live chat's open. Hit me up. Number one, identify your target audience. Before you start reaching out to prospects, make sure you have a clear idea of who your ideal customer is. Use LinkedIn search function to find people who fit your target demographics or who work in industries that you serve, right? So this kind of goes along with identifying our niche, right? Maybe we're focusing on dry van freight, and then from there you can actually break that down further into, like we've said before, whether it be plastics or canned foods or whatever, right? So using that search feature to find those types of companies that are shipping that type of freight, and then there again going through the people that work for that company and finding out who the decision maker is, right? Who the shipping manager, supervisor, whatever their title is, finding out who that is and connecting with them. Number two, craft a personal message. When you send a message to a prospect, it's important to make it personal and relevant. Avoid generic messages that can be sent to anyone. Start by mentioning something specific about the person's profile or work that caught your attention. For example, maybe they are active in a LinkedIn group, and you happen to notice a post that they had put out there, and you want you connect with them and kind of bring that up and how much you enjoyed it or something, or maybe you have some information to share with that prospect, right? Open that up and again, avoid, blanket kind of script type stuff. It's not real effective on LinkedIn. Explain the value, right? Because we shouldn't solely be focused on the monetary side of everything. I think, especially with the way the market is and has been, there's been kind of this race to the bottom with everything. You should focus on value rather than price. So in your message, be clear about what you are offering and how it can benefit the prospect, right? There again, as I've always kind of said before, under promise and over deliver, but you still want to let them know like what you specialize in, how that's, that you're familiar with that type of freight, all of that. So by all means, relay all of that in your message to them. Focus on the value that your service can bring to their business or professional goals, right? And this is where having a strong carrier network can be very beneficial. That was one of the things I believe that helped me land that customer, kind of finalize landing that customer this morning, is that a lot of the areas where they ship, I don't have to post their freight to the load board. I've already got a carrier network that I can basically call on or send an email out to and say, hey, I've got this, and work it out. So 4, obviously not getting too wordy. Keep it brief. Message should be concise and to the point. Avoid lengthy explanations or sales pitches. If the prospect is interested, they can always ask for more information, right? Like I've seen some messages and emails and listened to phone calls, and it's sort of like it goes along, all hand in hand, as we try not to be, too sales pitchy and go on for an hour, about, how great everything is going to be for them if they give us their business. And then number 5, follow up. If you don't get a response, with your initial message, don't give up. Sometimes not everybody is on every day. It's, when I first talked to this prospect, I think it was like 2 or 3 days before they actually looked at that first message, and then we kind of started opening up the line of communication. I had mentioned, what I kind of specialize in, what I do and what I don't do, and what I can do, but it's not really something that I do on a regular basis, right? I was very upfront with the prospect, so that they knew, where I was at, and, they were able to identify if I actually did fit their needs, right? Because I don't want to jump into something that, I don't have a carrier network for already. I could, but anyhow, it's okay to send a polite follow-up message a week or so later to see if the person is still interested. I put that down at a week. I would not wait a week. It doesn't have to be every day, but I would say probably at least every 2 to 3 days you would want to, but no more than a week. I guess maybe I should have worded that slightly differently. And then remember, LinkedIn is a professional networking platform, so it's important to approach potential prospects with respect and professionalism. With a thoughtful approach, you can connect with potential customers and grow your business on LinkedIn, right? And there again, as I mentioned earlier, before we reach out to them, join some of those groups on LinkedIn, transportation management groups and things like that. Obviously, you can find those through the search feature. They're usually pretty quick to add you. At least a lot of them are. It can be a great way. And if you're not having quite as much luck with cold calling or email prospecting, this is another avenue that you can go down to start to land more customers. I've mentioned in previous videos, your fault, their fault, nobody's fault. At some point in time, your customers will leave you. Well, guess what? That happened to me today. Actually, this afternoon it happened. I ended up landing that customer this morning, and then another customer that we had some dedicated freight on. They're actually going asset based, and they bought a fleet of their own trucks, and therefore they are taking over a majority of those lanes. Some of which happen to be the lanes that I so happen to be covering for them on a regular basis. They still have some spot market loads, but I'm going to tell you right now, and this is a fairly larger company, their rates are garbage. I have slowly over time, and I've been with this company for 6 years, and we've had a really great relationship, but in the last 9 months or so, it's gotten bad. with them. And I've bent over backwards. I've canceled plans. I've done all kinds of things to give them the attention and the service that they required. And, you know, I don't know if a lot of this is coming down from above their pay grade or not, but it is what it is, right? Like I said, their fault, your fault, nobody's fault. It happens. I'm not immune to it. As long as I've been in this industry, it happens to me too. So prime example. Do you guys have any questions for me, or did anybody get a new customer since I was on last? Again, you don't have to tell us who your customer is, and I really need some sort of like a thing that I can throw up on the screen to kind of celebrate. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day, and it slipped my mind. I apologize. But so no questions for Tim today, huh? And again, guys, you don't have to write all this down. I am going to post it, and I'll leave a link for this. If you want to keep a copy of these tips, to kind of review later. Again, when we get done with this video, I'll go ahead and add a link for that. Or obviously you can replay the video, right? We can always go back and replay. So, and again, I apologize, fairly short video today because like I said, I've been battling a headache since about 1 o'clock and it just is not going away for me. So, so no questions. Nobody got any new customers? Did anybody make a carrier connection? That's something else we should kind of look at. I'm constantly building my carrier network. Whether they're reaching out to me, I'm reaching out to them. Not yet. Email me. I know that you've been struggling for a little while. Email me. In fact, in case you need my email again. Can't type today either. Go ahead and email me. Let me know what type of freight that let's identify your niche and see if I can't maybe help you out a little bit further one-on-one with landing your first customer, because it is my understanding that you still don't have your first customer yet. Is that correct? Or you're just having trouble acquiring more customers? Sorry, guys, I'm not trying to look away from you. I'm just trying to watch the live chat over here. Okay. Yeah, like I said, email me. I have a Zoom meeting after this. So depending upon how late that runs, I will either reply back to you today or at the very latest tomorrow morning. Okay. And again, I apologize. Today's just been kind of crazy. Mondays usually aren't for me. So this is sort of out of the ordinary. Maybe that's why I have such a bad headache today. You guys got any questions for me before I go? Because otherwise I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up again. And if anybody else has any, you're struggling to get your first customer, by all means, email me and let me know what your niche is, or if you haven't identified your niche, maybe we can help you identify that. Yeah, like I said, it's just a headache. I don't know. Maybe I had too much caffeine today. It could have been, or maybe not enough, right? Maybe I didn't drink enough coffee earlier in the day or something. I'm not sure, but yeah. But thank you. So, Okay, guys. Well, then I guess with that, I will look for your emails and I will respond to them promptly. Like I said, I've got that Zoom meeting after this. So, again, time allowing, I will reply today. Otherwise, it'll be tomorrow. So, with that, again, we'll probably be back on again Friday evening. Um, if not, I will probably update the community tab on the channel and let everybody know ahead of time if anything changes. And with that, I guess we'll go ahead and call this done. And as always, be kind to one another. Bye bye now.